I was able to turn what is considered boring by today's standards into my version of fun, and I'm going to show you how you're actually way more fun than you think. My name is Doan, and I help young adult students and graduates live a purposeful life through continuous learning outside of school. So first, we must know that there are two sides to the student life. On one side, there is the fun social butterfly, which is the extroverted guy. And on the other side, we have the quiet, thoughtful wallflower, which is the introverts. So what does the social butterfly do? It's the kind of person who likes to be open to anyone and just talk about anything. They like the small talk, they like the deep talks, they like to just yap about anything and everything, and they don't mind talking to people all day long. They have a very high social battery. Whereas on the other side, we have the quiet, thoughtful wallflower, and these people are more reserved. They are more into their own thoughts, and they prefer those um, solitary activities such as reading, writing, journaling, the type of stuff that makes their brain work more than their mouth. I think society like kind of promotes the lifestyle of the social butterfly, and sure, there are some traits that we want from the social butterfly to live a good life, but it's not necessarily this type of person that we want to become once we're out in the adult world. The fun social butterfly is a good personality to have while you're in school, in college, or in university, because you have this sense of having a social group, this sense of community, and being together within the same environment and system. Whereas in the real world, once you're out of the traditional education system, I think personally it's more helpful and useful to be this thoughtful, insightful person, because there's no one that's going to help you. No one is there to help to save you from your problems, from your miseries, and there will be no one there to guide you like there is in school, in at work, in the job, in the workplace. There's always someone to guide you, but in those little moments when you don't need to work to go to school, these little moments in between that actually form what is your life, there's no one there. You are the one who has to make their own decisions, and that's where being this logical, thoughtful creature helps you make better decisions in the end. There is a lot of emphasis put onto being the social butterflies and onto people who are open-minded and extroverted, because that's more attractive, right? Humans are social creatures, so when we see someone who appears to be social, brightening, and who just like are energetic, we're attracted to that because it makes us think that they have a lot to talk about and that they're good to be around with. That type of personality matches what society prioritizes nowadays, which is all of those external factors, those external ideas, such as money, materialism, how you look on the outside, and basically everything that you can see with your own eyes and not use your brain to think about it. But we all know that those things are not the important things of life. The more important things of life are more of the on the spiritual side, so everything not related to any material, more of the sense of inner spirit, more of what we think on the inside. So it's more things like love, intelligence, how your decision making, those types of ideas. Our society tends to push away silent people and label them as basically useless or just like not fun at all, which is not true because most of the time, silent people are often the most capable and the most intelligent, whether it is intellectually or emotionally. They're often the people who actually have the most awareness of what's happening in the world because they took the time to learn about the world. My point is that society wants basically to keep everyone trapped by acting like this social guy, this social person who is carefree and just thinks about his own pleasure, his own immediate pleasure, and who doesn't think long term about the long term concepts that will be important to his life, such as financial literacy, so how to invest, how to manage your money, how to budget your money. I know a lot of people in their 20s who are in school, they don't even have a slightest idea of how to manage their money, and they only think that the only way money works is by spending and receiving, but there's actually way more than that. Also, the school system doesn't teach you how to be an adult, basically, how to live a healthy life. They don't teach you that. So I think they prioritize the more instant gratification pleasure that you can see on the outside. But introverts like me, we know that there's so much more in the world and that health is wealth. We don't have to follow the script that society imposes onto us, and that we can do whatever we want, literally whatever we want, if we're just able to change our mindset, our beliefs about how the world works and how others want us to think. Then will be able to make our own decisions. That's a crucial skill in the real life. So specifically, how is being the wallflower better than the butterfly? Well, the wallflower is ahead of the butterfly in basically every single aspect in the real world outside of school. Because let me put it in this way. So, when in those video games, these MMORPGs, it's those kinds of video games where you create a character, then you level up and become the best character that you can be by doing these quests all over the place, all over the virtual world in that game. The wallflower's mindset is kind of like when you do everything in the game. So you do the main quest, the side quest, the missions, everything. And you basically have experience in all areas of the game, as if like you have all experience in all areas of life. You're not more knowledgeable in fitness, in health, in finances, in mindset, in relationships, in love, everything. Whereas the social butterfly is kind of like the person who only does the main quests or the quests that are shown to him, because in the game only wants you to complete the main quests first, and they only show you that. And if you don't take the time to explore the world, then you won't be shown the side quests and everything else. So they only do the main quests, which is what the game and the society, the world wants you to do. In the end, they're not as high level as the wallflower, who took the time to explore the world and complete everything. And they are only good at one area of life, which is the area that society wants you to, and that's mainly being a good employee. That's basically the only end goal of the education system nowadays. It's that you be a good employee for 4 years, and that you have basically no control over your time and your freedom, and your money as well. I'm telling you that being the wallflower is just way better than being the butterfly. You can be the wallflower and still have some qualities of the butterfly. You can be this reserved person, but still have this open mindset to everything and to like to talk to people. It's just that you prioritize your needs and you prioritize what you put your time into. You become just more intentional with your time and how you spend your time with people around you. And in the long run, that skill is valuable in life. Like as a college student out of the education system, I realized that life is just so much more than what we think it is. Life is just based a series of events based on the actions that we do. No one has control over life. No one. It's just basically controlled and envisioned, and our vision of life is basically how we think it is based on what we do. If we just break free of how people want us to live life, then we will find something and be able to live a purposeful and meaningful life if we take the time to do so, which is why being more on the introverted side matters to us more than being on the extroverted side. Being more knowledgeable about things that most people don't know is also a crucial skill in life, because people will see you as someone who is actually ahead of others and they will consider you highly. Being more knowledgeable in certain areas of life will make you stand out from others. You will actually feel that you are a unique person and you're just not like everyone else. And others will feel that too. They will see that you are this expert in all areas of life, that you are actually a pretty smart person, a very intelligent person who knows what they're doing. And that's what I teach in my program, the New School. So now that you know that being the quiet, thoughtful wallflower is overall better than being this outgoing guy who only goes to parties and talks to girls all the time, what can you actually do that's relatively easy and low stress to actually start being more that person, this person who plans ahead in the future as an adult in the outside world, outside of school? First, you can start to progressively overload or progressively deload the good habits and the bad habits. What I mean by that is, for example, in the gym, when you go to the gym, there's this concept of progressive overload or progressive deload. Progressive overload means that when you want to get stronger and build muscle, you will progressively add a form of resistance, whether it is more weight, more reps, more sets, anything that makes the movement slightly more difficult. You add that every single week so that you can actually get stronger over time. But you have to do it progressively. And progressively deload is the opposite. So, for example, if you want to minimize the bad habits, you cannot just go from eating junk food all day to eating only healthy foods. You have to, for example, take one meal, eat healthy foods instead in that meal, and then over time you will able to replace all of your meals with healthy foods. So try to think of all the habits or all the things that you do that are actually not helpful in the long run, that you can try to deload, and at the same time you add in or progressively overload in the good habits. For example, if you find yourself that you're talking to too many people that actually don't matter to your life, and you actually think that they don't matter to your life, just talk to less of them, talk to less people. Don't be so much on your phone waiting for those notifications, and just start to live your own life and think about what you really want in life. Because most students, most people, most young adults, they don't think about that. They don't take the time to think about that. And I think it's really important. because you will not feel blinded by this cover in front of your eyes, living your life. Another thing is that you must be willing to change your mindset and perception about life and school and about the conditioning, how others make you think how life should be lived. It may be hard. It's maybe hard for extroverts to do that because they rely on other people and others' ideas to be how they are. But just, as I said before, try to progressively change that idea, that mindset in your mind that you are the only one in control of your life and that you can do basically whatever you want. And just do things that passionate you. Why are you trying to do something that you don't even like? Just because someone tells you to, that's the right thing to do. You don't even like it. Just look for an alternative, something else. For example, if the society said that basketball is the best sport in the world, but you don't even like shooting a basketball, then why would you still playing basketball? Just find something else. No one actually cares about that besides yourself. Everyone has shit going through their own mind most of the time, and they only care about themselves 90% of the time. So you only have one life. Just do what you want. Another easy actionable step that you can do is to start doing some mindful activities instead of mindlessly scrolling content on your phone. So, for example, you can just start picking up a book, read 10 pages, and that will be better than scrolling 10 Instagram reels. Or you can just start taking a walk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, still applying those concepts of progressively overloading and deloading. And you will start to see that you will feel better inside, intrinsically. And that's what I want you to do, to feel better like inside, and to feel like that you're actually starting to live this meaningful life that has a sense, that makes sense to you, and that there's this idea, like this spiritual side of yourself that you have never discovered until now. You can also be more thoughtful and a better adult if you just take a piece of paper out and you ask yourself, do you want to live the same life? Do you want to truly live the same life as others around you? Look around you. Look at the people close around you, your parents, your co-workers, your friends, the students in your school, the young adults around you. Do you actually want to live the life that they're living? Which is most of the time, they just follow the script. So they go to school, they get a job, well, they get a degree, then they get a job, and then they die at 65 because they retire at 65, but by then you all have those health problems because you didn't learn about exercise and health. All this domino effect. If the answer to that question is no, then you're in the right place. Finally, I want you to redefine your own version of fun, to stick to it and embrace it, to not be scared of who you really are and be unique. Do not be scared of doing what others think is boring, reading, meditation, journaling, exercising. Those habits they don't seem fun. They don't seem fun right now. Instead of playing video games, jacking off, talking to girls. Talking to girls but only to have sex, I mean. And I don't know, partying. What else? I don't even know because I don't even do those things. So I don't know what other people do for fun. Taking drugs, maybe. You know what I'm talking about. Those degen habits that you think are fun, but they're not really. Just Find what actually is fun for you and healthy for you in the long run, and that you can stick to. Just embrace it. Just be that person. Because overall, those habits stack up, and you will realize that that's what actually makes you a healthier person, physically and mentally. And that's what actually makes you live and feel like a purposeful, meaningful, and fulfilling individual in life.